I think there are good reasons for Americans and Delawareans to be mad. For folks who've lost their jobs, who've lost their houses, or who are at risk of losing either, to feel that, frankly, Washington isn't hearing them, isn't paying attention, that the Congress and the President aren't spending enough time getting past our partisan differences and moving forward on real solutions that'll help create opportunity for the 99% of Americans who are feeling left out. So frankly, whether it's the Tea Party on the right or the Occupy Wall Street or Occupy Wilmington folks who are out there demonstrating today, I think part of why Congress has an all-time low approval rating and part of why there's a very broad sense of disconnect, of anger that's legitimate on the part of most Americans is a sense that we're not able to make progress. I take that with me when I go to Washington. I carry with me a sense of urgency about trying to fix the problems facing our country, trying to hold accountable folks who helped create the financial collapse of 3 years ago, but also trying to move forward to the extent I can by building bridges and by co-sponsoring legislation that I think has a real shot of getting people back to work.
And obviously, do you think this will play a role in the 2012 election cycle, that this movement sort of has an impact on the dialogue in the election? Absolutely.
The thing that I think the Occupy Wall Street movement has contributed is it's brought into focus the significant inequality in income in this country. It's at its all-time high in the last 80 years. The lack of opportunity for employment, for education, for advancement, for younger Americans, for lower-income Americans, for those who haven't had the chance to go to college, it has put that in the forefront of the national conversation. But whether folks approve or disapprove of the Occupy Wall Street movement, I think what will play a big role in the 2012 elections is a huge sense of frustration on the part of most Delawareans and most Americans at the lack of progress. I think there will be pressure applied, and there ought to be pressure applied, for the Republicans and the Democrats in the House and the Senate to get past our differences, to make principled compromises, and to deal with our deficit and to deal with getting people back to work. I'm one of 44 senators who has co-signed a letter to the supercommittee that urges them to be willing to make compromises, to put everything on the table, revenue and entitlements, cuts to defense and to domestic non-defense spending, to put everything on the table to achieve a bigger, bolder, more bipartisan proposal that will cut more than $3 trillion over the next decade. I do think that's what we have to do. And I hope before the 2012 election, we can find this sort of responsible compromise that will allow us to move forward and allow us to strengthen our markets and allow us to have a brighter future.